Hello everyone. It's Maddie with Spectrum Art Creations. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you will make some of these along with me. Why? Because they're super fun, very useful, and everyone can do these. These are like beginner level, easy to do, but so much fun. Plus, you can use whatever you have around your art studio. Now, how did these come about? Well, it's kind of a funny story because I started making like a tier pocket that I wanted to kind of have some kind of creation to insert into an album, a photo album, or maybe even a journal, junk journal, or any other kind of journal. Just something cute, interactive. And as I started making the tier pocket, I realized, oh, that kind of looks like one of those wall file folder organizers. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, could I make some mini folders and stick them in there and make it look that way? So I went online and I found some inspiration here. Let me show you some of the photos that I found. So I found this photo here, and this one had the notches in the middle. So I tried a go at the ones with the notches that would resemble that one, and I thought that's super cute. Then I found this one with the black and the really beautiful colorful file folders. So then I did a black one with the colorful file folders as well. And that turned out super cute. And then I saw this one that had the other notches like that. And I thought, okay, how did we accomplish that? So I'll show you a trick to get that done. And I used that look on these two right here. This one I left as a straight edge because, again, that was my initial prototype to kind of get my measurements, my ideas. So I hope you guys will come along and make one with us. The supplies are very, very basic. You're going to need just a handful of things. Let me get my little list here, and we'll go over some of the supplies that you're going to need. Again, very basic. Oh, let me kind of tell you a little bit about, oh, and I guess I should show you what they look like, right? That would kind of be handy. So these are super easy. As I mentioned, they have little file folders in each of the pockets where you'll be able to journal, or you can of course insert your photos or insert gift cards if you'd like. So each pocket here, I'll leave them out so you can see the different sizes. Each pocket just gets, bigger and bigger as far as your little file folders and the ability for you to be able to journal in them. Okay, and then finally, the largest one is this one here. And as you can see, they are super fun because they just tuck right back in. And whether you're doing them in solid black or in this case, if you want to do them like in, some solid colors, these are obviously decorative scrapbooking papers, but this is just solid cardstock. So again, a great way to be able to do your own, and then they just tuck right back in there with all of your journaling. Okay, so let's go over the supplies. Very basic. You're going to need some paper. You do need some nice weight paper. This one I did with a very thin single-sided paper. Again, it was my prototype. I would not trust this over time not to probably tear unless you're very gentle. So again, I would recommend some heavier stock paper. You're going to need a scoreboard. You're going to need a paper trimmer. You're going to need some adhesive of choice. I prefer liquid. It's just a little faster and easier for me, but you choose whatever your preference might be. You're going to need some inks if you want to distress your edges. And you're going to need a corner rounder. If you want to round your corners, you do not have to, but file folders usually do have rounded corners, so I figured that would look cute. You're going to also need your whale tail die set. If you do not have one, we still have them in store, and we'll go over this as I'm die cutting it, so I'll show you what this is and all that it includes. And then let's see what else. If you want to do the notches, then you'll need a circle punch. I used a 1 inch circle punch. If you want to do this look, that's where we're gonna do something super fun. You'll need the tab punch. Again, we have all of these available in our online stores. Okay, I think that's it. See, very basic. I mean, and these are extras. You can just do them this way and not do use any of the extra tools. Okay, now let's talk about what we're gonna do, because we are having a challenge in our Facebook group. And this month we have like 4 different challenges happening, but we're having a Tim Holtz challenge. So I figure, well, while we're at it, why don't we make some of these super cute wall file folder organizers in Tim Holtz and kind of, serve 2 purposes, right? Not only show you how to put them together, but also be able to create for the upcoming challenge in the Facebook group. So I picked this paper because I figured, well, I've done some plain, and you can see I've done some green, some colorful, I've done some solids, I've done some, more colorful. So now, why don't we go with some Tim paper? I think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at those solids on the back, because I think they look really cool. They almost look like metal. So like some galvanized, maybe grungy metal. See, like that's super cool. So, I mean, look at all these colors that we could choose from, right? Well, that's kind of cool. We haven't done anything like that. So maybe we'll come back to that. Let's take that one's nice too. Ooh, this one's got even more of that rusty look, so maybe that would be a good one. That one's good too. I think so far I'm leaning on that one. What would you guys use? Which one? Maybe you do have this pad. Ooh. That's a tough choice. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh, look at that. Oh, the hard choices, right? Okay, so maybe you do have this pad in your stash. I'm pretty sure we have it in store, but if we don't, we have others similar. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, this is so tough. I always tell everyone, my biggest problem is not coming up with ideas like those little, wall file folder organizers. My biggest hurdle really is choosing paper. So because of that, I'm just going to choose a paper and call it a day. And in this case, we're just going to go with this one right here. Okay. Then I need some file folders. So I thought in the back here, see, it's got some, I mean, we could just do like the regular manila folders. I think they would look cool too, but why not add some color, right? So we can do, oh, you know what? We could have done a more, oh, look at that. Oh, look at those. No, but that's there already. I need 4 different patterns. Is that it? No, here's some more. Those are kind of cool. See those? Maybe I should go with a more neutral base. I might change my mind. Sorry, guys. See, this is why I typically edit my videos, because I can't decide. I should have a plan, right? But this is real. Okay, how about if we go with, let's try this one and see how it looks. And you guys can shout at me through the screen and say, no, I like the other one. All right, let's go back to those 4. What is the longest one we're going to need? The longest one we're going to need is going to be an 8.5. So at some point, one of them is going to have 2 of these on it, which is fine because we're only going to see one side. Okay, I'm kind of making it up as I go, guys. I think this one. Let's just do it. I think so. Again, we're not trying to overthink it. We're just trying to get to creating, because I'm sure that's what you guys want to do as well. Okay, now I'm going to go to my cutter. I'm going to cut these down to size. I'm going to come back and tell you exactly what it is that I have cut. So at that point in time, you guys can pause too, and then do all of your cuts, and then we'll come back and put it together. Sound like a plan? All right, let me go cut and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have cut all of my pieces, so I'm going to share with you what sizes they are. This first one right here is going to be 4.5 inches tall by 6.5 inches wide. Now, in my case, my paper has no orientation, so it doesn't really matter which way I cut it. However, I'm letting you know the width and the height, right? Just in case your paper does have orientation. Like this one, for example, had text, so it's kind of important to know that, okay? Then the next piece, which is this one right here, this one is 3 inches wide by 3.5 tall. The next piece is going to be 3 inches wide, so the same width, but it's only going to be 2 3/4 tall. And then the last piece is also 3 inches wide, but it is only 2 inches tall. Okay, so you can see how they kind of go down in scale. Now the width on these three is the same, but this one of course is much wider. So these are the pieces that you'll need to cut in order to create the actual rack itself. Let's call it a rack. Now for the file folders, okay, let me move these off to the side. For the file folders, you're going to need as well 4 different ones. Again, they can be the same colors, you know, they could be different colors. You could go light, you could go dark, or you can go different colors like we're gonna do now, because why not? It's fun. You can use anything you have. And actually, you'll notice that some of the colors do kind of have additional ones. So it's super fun to mix and match them as well. But we're going to have them all be 2.5 inches wide. Okay, so that's pretty simple. They're all 2.5 inches. The longest one is going to be 8.5 inches tall. The next one is going to be 6.5, followed by a 5-inch, and then finally a 3.5. Okay, so these are the papers that we're going to need in order to get started. So if you want to pause right here, go cut your papers and then come back, then we can just go from here. And I promise you, it's super easy, like totally easy to put together. So much fun that you'll be making all kinds of different ones before you know it, because they're just kind of come together in a snap once we've done this part, okay? All right, once you are done, you can go ahead and hit play again, and then we will continue with our next step. Okay, for our next step then, I'm assuming you're all ready to go. We're gonna put these off to the side for just a second. I wanna focus on this piece right here, the largest of the bases, right? We're going to bring over a scoreboard. We're going to place it on our scoreboard 6.5 inches at the top. And we're gonna find where is my, our scoreboard and of course our scoring tool, and we're going to make 2 different score lines. Very simple, at 3 and at 6. So 3 and 6, that's it. That's all we need to do right there. Okay, now if you do not have a scoreboard, of course you can use a ruler and your ball stylus tip tool and still can do the same scoring, right? The scoreboard just makes it that much easier. I don't know if I mentioned a bone folder in the in what we're going to be needing, but just in case you do need a bone folder or a way to go ahead and really crease your lines. So we're going to crease there, and then we're going to crease here. Now, typically, once I'm done with this, because it's kind of a perfect fit, if you realize that it starts to buckle or bubble like this, what you can do is when I'm doing my cut after I'm done scoring at my trimmer, I just kind of cut a little piece, but we could do it by hand too. That's such a pretty side as well, isn't it? Just a little sliver, nothing big. You can just do it with your scissor. We're not going to see it, so it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, and that will stop that buckling, right? And then of course, if you want just to reduce some bulk, you can cut that corner. Not necessary at all, but we're going to do that. And that's going to create our main base pocket. Okay. Once we are done with that, we're going to bring these back because that's all the scoring we're going to be doing. That's it. And these, what we're going to do is we're going to fold in half. Again, you can use your scoreboard if you like, but you could also just kind of, you know, press them down and then burnish them down with your bone folder. We're only going to see a small amount at the top. So, oh, hang on. Make sure I'm straight there. So always keep that in mind. The only thing you're really going to see a whole lot of is this small piece. So when you're designing, just think of that. That for the most part, you know, you're going to see, yeah, sure, some little things there. Like, oh, that one's hard to see. Let's try this one. You are going to see a little bit, right? But mostly it's this bottom front one that you're going to see. So all of this other stuff, even the file folders, you're going to see a small part of it. And that's why I wasn't worried about using this. Even though it's not the same color on the bottom all the way through, guess what? All we're going to see is a small piece up here. So you are free to use whatever you have in your stash, because that's always fun, including using scraps, right? That's always a good way to create a whole bunch of projects. Okay, so now that we've got all of that also creased and burnished down, right down the middle, what we need to do is work on deciding what we're going to do with our pockets. So let's put this off to the side. Again, we have two choices. We can either round them, well, three choices. We can either do the bracket, or we can just leave them in a straight line, or perhaps you'll come up with a different design, right? Yours might be a totally different idea. Again, I always give you guys a starting point, and then I hope that you make it your own. Okay, in my case, well, let's do it both ways. Using our amazing ruler, which I love because it has the 8ths and the 16ths on that side. But on this side, it has the 0 leveling ruler with the 8ths and the 16ths. So I can get really precise without doing any math whatsoever. And that is my kind of crafting. So all I have to do is put my piece right here. And in this case, it's easy. We know that 1.5 is half of 3. So we go from 0. We make sure on the left hand side it says 1.5, and on the right hand side it says 1.5, which it does. But again, sometimes we have these cuts that are like, 9/16 of an inch, and yeah, nobody wants to do that math, right? So, but in this case, super easy. I'm going to use this just to kind of create a little tick mark right there so that I know that's my center. Make sure you are labeling it on the little top there. If you need to double check, it's always better to double check by stacking your papers this way once you have your little tick lines, and making sure they're all the same widths. You don't want to end up with this one this way, right? And then you ended up notching it and it's the wrong side. So just kind of make sure they are, and they are. Now, to do the circle notch, right? Super easy. All we do is we bring in our circle, we line it up with that little tick mark that we've created there, and we decide how deep we want it. So let's go with that. Punch, punch, punch. Oh, we forgot to do this one. So let's do that one too. And we'll do this one, and oops, and we punch. So now we have our 4 perfectly aligned notches, right? Okay, great. Now, what happens if you want to go with the other look? Well, very similar. I did cut out another set while I was cutting, just to kind of show you how easy that is. Okay, So we know we got to score the base. So let me score that first so that we can see the whole thing done as well. And see, just like that, I'm going to actually have 2 of these done like that in no time. Nope. Where is it? Where are you? There you are. All right, again, super easy at 3 and at 6. See how easy that happens? We fold, we fold, we burnish, and we burnish again. We trim off a little bit of a sliver so that it doesn't bubble on us. There you go. On this one, I'm not even going to cut the bottom just to show you that it is not necessary at all. And then we're basically going to do the same thing. We're going to bring all of the pieces, making sure they're on the 3-inch side, and we're going to center them again. So I'm going to find center on this one. I'm dealing with having no nails, and it's so hard to pick up anything. The struggle is so real. And then this one. And then finally this one, right? And we can decide which way do we like, up or down. I like the grungy stuff on the bottom. Not that we will see it actually. So you know what? I'm going to turn it this way. I'm still going to notch a lot of it, but we'll still see a little bit. Again, that bottom one is the one that we're going to see, oops, the most. 0. Okay, now, how do we get this look, right? Because that's so awesome. Well, the way to do that is to use our We Are Memory Keepers tab punch. Again, we have these in store, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to line up. Now, I already used my 0 ruler. Sorry, I keep hitting that metal thing. I used my 0 ruler. I found my center, and I marked it with a permanent marker just to kind of give me a gauge. Here, I'll do the top so you guys can see. All I did was I lined it up using these 2 sides here, held it in place, brought my marker in, and used my 0 ruler to center. So now I know where my center is on that punch at all times. Okay, now, we said we were going to want that on top, right? Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come not only centering my little tick mark, but I'm also going to come up to, see where this is right here? This little curve right here? I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to line that bump and this bump right on my paper line here. Let's do it together. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to look at my center. Then I'm going to look at left and right. Kind of make sure it's centered as well as leveled. When I have it ready, I'm going to punch. And look at that. So cool, right? We'll do it again. Again, I'm making sure I'm centered, then looking at the left side, right side, little bumps and punching out. Same thing here. And now you know how to get that other look too. So you can use your punch in a totally different way. Of course, this punch is intended, if you are not familiar with it, to create amazing tab punches, even the double tabs. I've done that in a few of our videos, so hopefully you've been able to see those. These make little cute tabs too, by the way, for folders. I mean, look at that. If you wanted to attach them, but we're going to get rid of those for now. And now we have the notch look. So you can either go with the rounded look or the notched, the other notch. Isn't that neat? So cool, right? It's hard to decide which one. I like them both. I probably like this one better, but that's okay. We'll stick with this. Okay, so now that we've got all of that done, our cutting is done, our notching is done, all of those fun things are happening. Now we need our tabs. So using the scraps, let me go get my scraps real quick. So using the scraps, because we've got plenty of them left, right? We can create either coordinating tabs, right? For our file folders like we have, or you can go crazy and mix and match them. So for that, we're going to use the whale tail punch, because the fun of this was also that we did large, medium, and small tabs. Isn't that neat? Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Like they all have, it goes from large to small. I think that is so awesome, right? Okay, how did we do that? This punch right here, I'm sorry, this die set, which we have in store, comes with 3 different whale tail punches. It comes with the large, the medium, and the small. You get 3, not 1, 3 of the large, 4 of the medium, 3 of the small, and then you get the really cool double hole reinforcers, the vintage ones. So I'll kind of leave that one off there. I'll show you mine. You guys can get an idea of the size of the tabs here. And whenever I have leftovers, I just kind of toss them in here with all of my stuff, because, you know, it just makes it that much easier to see. So they come in 3 different sizes, and then they punch out 3 different sizes of punches. Do I have all 3 sizes in here from the leftovers? Yes, I do. There you go. Small, medium, and large. And then, as I mentioned, it comes with the double hole reinforcer as well, which is so cool to make all your own tags. Okay, so using that, we're going to need, hang on, let me pick this all up. We're going to need 1 large, right? 1 jumbo for that, 1 medium for that, and then 2 small ones for these 2. So using your coordinating leftovers, you can go ahead and punch those out in the colors to match your file folder. So I'm going to do that now while you guys get your die cutting done as well. And then I'll come back when my die cutting is done. Okay, so now we are back. I have die cut my whale tails from my leftovers, and hopefully so have you. So from the large, again, I have cut a teal one, so we can fold that. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, it's not your imagination, it is now teal. So my daughter Madison, who, and it's more like a blue, who is my crafting partner here in this studio, walked over and said, "Wait a minute, are you trying to tell me you're doing a project and you're not going to include a teal?" And I said, "Well, of course, what was I thinking?" So anyway, we switched it out. So, and that's cute, actually. It worked out really nice. So a large, a medium, right? You can see the size difference here. Let me open them back up. And then 2 small ones to coordinate with the last 2 file folders. Okay, so medium, large, medium, 2 smalls. So that was funny. See, sometimes you think you have something in mind and then you get overridden. So, okay, now we can put those into our little, and that's why you keep hearing the dinging. It's my little magnetic bowl. This thing is a lifesaver for not losing what you are crafting with. Okay, we burnished those down. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to ink them up. Again, this part is optional. So is the corner rounding, but I am going to round my corners. I just prefer that look. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not on the wrong side of my file folders. And I'm going to use my medium punch. All right, so we can do this all together at the same time. If you are rounding your corners, if you are not, then you of course can start inking up your edges. If you're not going to ink up, then just give me a few seconds to finish these up. And it's so nice that they're also double-sided, because the insides look so cool. Aren't they awesome on the inside too? Okay, so we're going to do all of the corner rounding. Again, we're doing all 4 folders on all the top sides, front and back. And now we can go ahead and ink up. So all we're going to do is take all of these and go all the way around, and you decide, actually, you know what, I think I want to go with, I changed my mind. I want to go brown, not black. 1 second. Let me switch my ink pad there. And I like using a little plate because I think I'm really rough on sponges, honestly. I don't know. Is it just me? You guys can tell me in the comments. But I tend to always have these little, I don't know, crumbles from my ink pads, and I hate them on my desk. So I use a styrofoam plate to catch all those, and then I can reuse the plate again and again. I know it's not the fanciest of things, but long story short, we had a Walmart order to pick up, and we usually get paper plates. Well, I guess they decided to substitute for us, and instead of giving us 200 paper plates, they gave us 200 styrofoam plates. So now I'm stuck with all of these styrofoam plates, which I hate. I do not like styrofoam at all. It is very harmful to the environment, and I just really don't like it. And so now I'm like, oh boy, what do I do with these? So I'm trying to find ways to use them, because I mean, I don't know what else to do. If I throw them away, they're still going to end up in a landfill. So I'm trying to find creative ways of, I guess, maximizing the use and even reusing them so that, you know, at least they're being used for something. But at least they're easy to wipe, so they're good for art, I guess. I would not buy them for that purpose, but since I got them and I'm stuck with them now, I have to do something with them, right? And so this is my solution. If you have solutions, by all means, let me know in chat. What do you do with styrofoam plates? What can you do with styrofoam plates? Okay, so those are done. Nice. See, that really helps us stand out. These I didn't even ink up at all. So, I mean, do you have to? No. Do I think it adds a little something? Sure. And it only takes a couple of minutes. We got this. Now on these, I do front and back because I am going to see the back of these eventually. And also I like to do the inside as well. Might as well go that extra 20 seconds per file folder and just have it look nice on the inside as well. So I hope your weather is warming up. I know our weather here in Florida has been very cold. I am in northern Florida and it's been really cold this year, but it's starting to warm up. Now on these, I'm only going to ink up the front all the way around. On the back, I'm only going to do the top because we're not going to see the bottom. So again, just something to save you ink and time. So the front all the way, the back only the top part of it. But I know everyone has been having a really cold weather here in the States. I'm not sure. I think Canada, yes, Canada has been as well. I think I've heard from some of our Canadian friends and business partners that they've been having a really cold winter as well. So hopefully things are starting to warm up. Oh, speaking of winter, we have a winter challenge in the Facebook group as well. So we've got, like I said, 4 different challenges happening right now. And we'd love to have you participate. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, make sure that you go and join that so that you can join in. There's a tea challenge. And it could be a teapot, it could be a teacup, it could be just tea-dyed paper. You could use tea bags, whatever tea means to you. I've seen some awesome Alice in Wonderland. I am a total Alice in Wonderland fan. I've seen some Alice in Wonderland takes, like the matte tea party on the challenge. Love it, of course. So yeah, that's super fun. Then we have a winter challenge, which again, your interpretation of winter. You can make a tag, you can alter a box, you can do ephemera, you can do a journal, you can do a card, you can do whatever you'd like. You can even do a sweater. I'm kidding. You can do a sweater. Wouldn't that be something? Oh gosh. Then well, you could do like an ugly sweater and decorate it with all kinds of stuff. Did I do the inside? I don't think I did. Doesn't look like I did. And then I'm trying to think of the last one. We have the Tim Holtz challenge. Oh, the Valentine's Day challenge. How can I forget? Of course, we're doing Valentine's Day because it is now January. Almost Feb already. Can you believe it? So again, well, it used to be every month, but the group has voted that now we're going to be doing challenges every 2 months to allow people more time to be able to get their goodies from our stores, including our live sales, and then be able to create and meet the deadlines. So they're now running for 2 months. So it runs until the end of Feb. So you're not too late. If you're watching this now and you'd like to participate, by all means, please come join us in the Facebook group. I'll have information on that at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. And the challenges change. So you never know what the next challenges are going to be. It's always fun to kind of keep you on your toes and creating. It's a good way to get you out of a funk too. Because sometimes, you just kind of sit there and you go, okay, what do I do? Well, this is a great way to get you out of that. What should I do? Because you have some kind of parameters, that you can start with, right? Okay, so with all of that inked up, it is super easy now. I told you, this is going to come together like that, okay? So if you need to pause here and catch up to inking, go ahead and do so, and then just resume whenever you are ready. Okay, we are ready. So let's move on. We're going to bring back our base, and simply all we're going to do is adhere the bottom. So run a small bead along the bottom, and then on this top side of the flap. Wait, am I doing that right? No. Nope, I'm doing it wrong. Sorry. On the inside of this flap. I had to catch myself there. Okay. And then all we're going to do is close and close. And simply make sure that you press down, and that's going to create our base pocket. Again, so pretty, right? Of course, we're only going to see a little bit of this, but oh, this paper is just fun. Then we're going to grab the next size up. We're going to adhere it on 3 sides, left, right, bottom, leaving the notch part up. And all that I do to make it easy is I simply like stand it up on my table, and then all I have to do is kind of use my fingers here for the left and the right, and I know it's perfectly aligned because it's sitting on my table. I'm kind of being generous with that glue, huh? Okay, just like so. We're gonna do it again, once again. Left, right, bottom. Okay. Standing it up. So all I have to do is worry about aligning left and right. The bottom is all perfectly aligned. Pinch, pinch. And then we're going to do it one more time. Same thing. All the pockets. All right. With that done, we will let that dry in the meantime while we move on to our next. Again, I'm using art glitter glue, which pretty much has like 3 seconds for you to be sure, and then it's done, right? So it dries really, really quick, which is why I love crafting with it. It does give me a little bit of playtime, but not a whole lot. Okay, while that is doing that, we are going to come here. Now, you can sandwich this in between the two if you like so. You know, that way you have it in the front and in the back. I, however, did not want anything snagging in my pockets. So what I decided to do, and which is why I didn't ink up the bottom, is I have simply, oh, how pretty is that on the inside though? Really? Is to adhere it shut. And we're going to use whale tails in a very different way today. So as opposed to usually we use it this way, and we love to see that gorgeous tab there, we're going to change it up, okay? So I have plenty of other videos and other projects where we used whale tails in all kinds of ways, including one of the latest videos, which is the slide, the ATC specimen slides with the hidden paper clip, which creates a tuck spot on the back. If you haven't checked that video out, make sure that you do that, because that one's another great one. But yeah, we've used it in a lot of different ways, but right now we're going to use it completely different. We're going to pinch, because all we want to see is that little top right there. So we're going to bring this in and we're going to adhere it. Usually I like to line them up with my edges, but that creates a really tall tab, and I don't think that looks very much like a file folder. File folders don't usually have that tall of a tab, so I'm bringing it down just a bit like this. Now, you can either do them all centered, you can do some left, some right, you can do them in you know, from left to right or right to left, whichever way you prefer. All the looks are amazing. I chose to go kind of like left, right, center, you know, right. So that's what I'm going to do again. But again, you can choose any which way and play around with it, you know, because that's also part of the fun. I'm going to add glue to the back where I didn't ink up all the way from that little hump there down, and then I'm just going to bring this all the way to my right. In my case, I'm going to close it really quick. Again, I have a little bit of playtime and I like that. So now I'm really going to commit by pinching it and leaving it, because it's done, right? Going to do the same thing with this one, except this one I'm going to go right in the center, okay? Again, inking from that drop there down. And then I'm just not even going to use my ruler. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here lightly first. Make sure it looks even. When I'm happy with it, I'm going to pinch and let it be, because it's done. There's two. I told you they come together like this. And then on this one, I'm going to go left. So again, looking for the one I did not ink up, because once it's on there, you can't really re-ink, right? So you want to make sure you got the right side. Kind of look at it. It is so cute with that little one. Oh my goodness. And pinch. That's 3. One more. Again, I'm going to come back to the right, kind of where I started, making sure I do have the inked up side facing out, adding my glue, coming to the right, gonna check it out. Adorable. Perfect. Pinch, pinch. Okay, and that is as simple as that. Now that kind of completes that look, right? So it's done. Of course, now again on the inside, well, these have decorative paper, the other ones have more of the solid, so perfect for journaling. If you want to add some maybe journaling papers here, you could. Man, you could even add a little bit of you know, like a signature, like 2 or 3 pages of tea-dye paper or something, and create like little notepads as well. But these will now slide in here. Hang on, let me make sure I don't have too much glue in that pocket. It feels a little tight. I might have overdone the glue. If that happens, just grab your ruler and just kind of make sure that it's a clean pocket. Yeah, feels better now. There we go. See? And then our next one. And then our last one. And at first they're going to be a little tight because the paper, of course, is trying to stretch. But after a while, you'll see how easy they come in and out of. And that completes the base and all that. So perfect. However, I am going to continue on. Why? Because for the challenge that we have going on, we must use at least 3 different Tim Holtz products in the project. So I figure, and the inks and stuff do not count. So I've used the paper. I've got these placards. So instead of these where I can remove the little paper and be able to insert my own sentiment. Hang on, let me show it to you in another color. Maybe it shows better. So these come out and I can add my own sentiment. And the same thing on all those tabs. I figure I'll use one of these because these are from Tim's. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? Let's see. I don't know what I'm thinking. I hadn't thought about it. That one's kind of cool. This one's longer. Oh, look at this one. That's cool too. Okay, they're all cool. Not these. These are too small, so not those. Oh, how I wish you guys could talk over the screen and tell me your choices. This is why I like crafting live with you guys, by the way. Because I'm always asking you, what do you guys think? Vote. Okay, I think it's between those two. They just have more of an impact for me. But I still think they're getting lost. And that's okay, because I think that this is where my third element's going to come in. I don't know. It's between those two. That's all I know so far. I'm thinking, since this is kind of open, why not bring in a Tim Holtz folder, embossing folder, emboss some paper, and then just add like a little backdrop on here. So it just has more presence, right? And this one, I have another one that also looks like metal, but I can't find it. So since this one looks like metal and we're kind of going for that industrial metal filing cabinet, maybe look kind of rusted. What do you guys think? I think so. Let's try it. I'm going to go over and emboss a little piece, maybe something. What do we think? If this is 3, maybe and how big is this? You know what? Let's start with a 2.5 because we can always trim it down. Let's do a 2.5 by 1.5 and see how that looks. I'll be right back. Okie dokies. Here we go. So it's now embossed. It looks like riveted plates. I think the size might work. And it gives it a little something. But of course, we have to do something else. Number 1, we need to ink it up. Number 2, I'm thinking, what if we did, what if we could do alchemy waxes? We could. We could also do some sprays. No, let's do alchemy wax. I think that might be really good for making it look metallic. Now, what color should we go with? I'm thinking Firebird because it kind of matches that folder right there. Let me go get that. I think that might be a good choice. Let's see. Firebird. Let's try it. All right, let me get a wipe. I want to clean my fingers. And I'm just going to lightly go in and try and just kind of just touch it, right? Just give it a little bit of that metal look. We'll see how that looks. If we love it, great. If we don't like it, you know what? We just emboss another little piece and try again. That's part of the beauty of crafting. That we can change our mind. Okay, so very, very little. And I'm just going to lightly come in here and try and get some of those highlights. And see how that looks. And then we can add more if we need to. Oh yeah, I like this side better. I kind of went a little heavier handed. Let me show you. Okay, we're getting there. We're going to keep building up on that because I like it. Yes, I do like it. We're going to add some more. Again, we're not going to see a whole lot of this because this is going to be kind of under that placard, but still, it looks great. Actually, I'm almost tempted to kind of add it here and there. So it kind of ties it all in. Oh, that looks so good. Yes, that was a good call. Yes, a little more. Because it really makes it pop. Especially here on the sides. And then I'm still going to come in with my distressing. And add some more to this. Kind of just darken it up a bit. Give it more of that industrial look. See, that does give it a little something. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't just leave it, you know, blank the way it was with just the metal piece. I think this really added a little something extra. And it brought in an extra element. We can even add some Firebird to our little metal plate just here and there. So it kind of ties in again, not so stark silver, but a little bit more of that rusty color as well. Oh, that looks much better. See? Much better. Okay, now we are going to adhere this using our Extra Forte glue. Oh, let's make one more call just in case. 1 second. Yeah, no, definitely this one. Now, this is just paper, so we're okay just adhering it the way it is. Okay, I'm going to bring this a little closer so I can kind of make sure it's centered and leveled. Press down. Oh, that looks so pretty. It looks so much better. Wait till I take photos. I know it's kind of hard with all the lights blaring down on it, but we're going to add some of the Extra Forte glue, which is excellent for holding down all of your metal pieces. Just don't want it to get too much on there, but I also want a good contact. I'm going to drop it right there. And then we're going to let it sit for a little bit. Extra Forte dries pretty fast. I mean, not like instant, but it's pretty good as far as dry time. But I am going to give it some time to dry, obviously. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to do, well, first I'm going to wipe my finger, which is now Firebird Orange. Last night we were having craft night. The VIPs have craft night where we all craft together in the academy. We have Spectrum Art Creations Academy where we do, you know, classes and exclusive tutorials and workshops. But anyway, last night it was VIP night, so we got to hang out and all craft together. Well, I spilled my blue shimmer spray and I spilled it on my table, and so I was trying to wipe it really quick. Look at my rag. I mean, it looks amazing, but totally emptied out my whole bottle. And guess what? My hands were just blue. I mean, blue, like midnight blue. So it was pretty funny. Now today they're Firebird red or gold. So yeah, my hands are a different color every day. The life of a crafter, right? Okay, so even Madison's cracking up. There we go. I think it's pretty much, yep, it's on. So now we've got our beautiful little Tim Holtz pocket with the gorgeous file folders ready to go on to your journals and pages, and then you can journal all in them. We have our Tim Holtz embossing folder as well as our Tim Holtz placard, not to mention, you know, obviously the inks and all that stuff, but we've got all these other startup ones too. Now, another fun thing that you can do, and that will pretty much wrap it up, because from here you guys take it and do whatever you'd like, right? Use whatever combinations you want. You know, don't forget that I've given you measurements, but you can totally change these up. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. I've got my, wait, is this mine? No, I think I grabbed, this is an extra one. Let me go grab mine. This is a brand new stamp that we just got because of a lot of the projects that we've been doing, and it's got like the smaller ones. We have the bigger ones too, but this has got the smaller ones, and it's all French. And I thought those would be perfect for, I mean, they can even go on these tiny ones. Let me get mine. I stand corrected. That one is mine. So these are some of the other ones that we have also, but see, they're bigger, so I don't think they're going to be a good fit for these like tiny ones. This is the other one. Well, maybe this number right here. So maybe some of the smaller ones, yeah, could work. But I've got this one out, and I figured maybe we can try stamping some of these. I'm going to use my mini stamping platform without the actual base. We're just going to use it just like so. I saw one on here that said something. Oh, that one's cool. Details. Oh, here, important note. Oh, what about this one? Oh, papers and letters. That's perfect. Let's try that. Well, there's a lot of choices on there, but we'll try this. Let me get my... Again, this is all kind of like an afterthought. Let me get a blank piece of paper to cover our area here. We're going to ink that up. And first, we're going to stamp off just to make sure that we have a good, yep, good inking. Get some of the stuff out of the way. And then the coolness about this platform is that I can move it around any which way I want. So once I have that there, I can position it anywhere I want, and I don't have to stamp until I'm ready to commit. So I'm going to stand up so I can see without putting my head on camera. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to stamp down, and there we go. So now this, hopefully I didn't really measure it, should fit right in there. Papers and letters, indeed. We're going to have our little file folder wall organizer holding all of our papers and letters. Okay, now let's pick some fun ones for these tabs here. And I will just fast forward through this so you're not bored trying to watch me pick stamps. Okay, how seriously fun was that? I could do that all day long, just making little file folders. Adorable. And there's so many of these that would fit. It's kind of hard to choose. There was one that said important notes. That one said postcards. The other ones have numbers or due dates. Super stinking fun. Okay, so that is the conclusion of this tutorial or craft along. I do hope that you guys will make your own, post them in our Facebook group. Make sure that you also hashtag us if you make some. We love to see how yours turned out. Of course, if there's any of the products that you're interested in that you've seen, you know that we have them in store. We have 2 different stores to serve you, spectrumartcreations.com, or for short, you could also use sacscrafts.com, and of course our Etsy store as well under Spectrum Art Creations. As well, join us on Saturdays for super fun live sales. Every Saturday we come on and we have live sales right here on this channel, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel for notifications. Make sure you ring that bell so you can be notified of whenever we go live, because we do live craft alongs, we do Finish It Fridays. We are thinking of starting a new series, which we're going to be calling Try It Tuesdays. So yeah, we definitely love to have you here live in chat for our sales or lives, as well as, of course, to be notified when new videos and tutorials are uploaded. But also make sure you join our Facebook group. It's Spectrum Art Creations Friends. So make sure that you look for us. It is a private group. There is a link in the description box, but it is private. It is closed just so that we can keep our members safe. It is a very safe environment where we can share and post our creations, ask our questions. So make sure that when you request to join that you do answer the questions that are asked. They're not like trivia questions. They're just to make sure that you are not a bot or a troll. Again, we're trying to keep our members safe. So please make sure you answer those, because if not, we never even see your request to join. It's automatically denied, okay? And then in addition to that, of course, if you are not a member of SACs Academy, we certainly hope that you will check it out. There you can get exclusive content, private classes. We do game nights, craft nights. We have discount codes, all kinds of additional perks. And we have 3 different levels where you can join and become a member, whether it's a supporter, a student, or a VIP. So I will leave a link to that as well, so you can watch a video, a little bit more about the Academy, super short video, but it tells you more information, and hopefully you will want to join us there as well, because for one monthly fee, you get access to all of the exclusive content. So it's nice to have exclusive workshops and classes. Instead of paying a la carte $40, $50, $60 per class, it's all included, starting at $9.99. So a cup of coffee, which we would love to have you join the Academy as well. Okay, I won't keep you any longer. I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you will make one, and we will see you on this next video here, and of course, and on our channel for live craft alongs and more every single week. Thank you so much. Bye.